Hi, this is Steve, South Florida archery guy. This is my backyard where you can shoot arrows and work on your farmer's stand. Right now, I'm going to talk about Asiatic bows, horse bows, Mongolian bows, Hungarian bows, Carpathian Basin bows, and why I love them. I love them because I think they're the most accurate way to shoot an arrow out there. I started, like most, putting an arrow on an arrow rest, a recurved bow, putting 3 fingers under or a nice split finger Mediterranean style, and boom. And you quickly learn you've got to match the arrow to your bow. Your bow weight will determine the spine. Your draw will determine the length. How you cut that arrow is going to determine the flexibility of that spine. There's a lot of black magic as far as arrow tuning goes when you're shooting what I'll call Western style. The most typical style that you see American barebow archers, hunters, Olympians shoot this same common knock the arrow to the left, pull back with your fingers, and let it fly. With the horse bow and the technique, the thumb style technique, combined with katra, which is this kind of flinging motion with your left hand, with your bow hand, eliminates this whole arrow nightmare, that whole archer's paradox. The paradox being, let me just go over archer's paradox real quick. When you put an arrow onto a string with a bow, and you point that bow downrange, your arrow is pointing grossly to the left here. Now, the paradox is, when you pull this back, is now pointing way more towards your target. The paradox is, it's towards your target, it's away from your target, it's way to the left. That's it. That's what the archer's paradox is. Paradox is turned into a verb with that type of motion you get out of the arrow. People say, well, that's the arrow paradoxing. Well, no. I mean, that's the arrow flexing. That's the spine strength you're seeing. All of that is crucial to your accuracy when you're shooting in that style. Now, when you're shooting horsebow, first of all, putting the arrow on the right side of the bow, not on the left side of the bow, which is just a cognitive dissonance when you grew up shooting regular old American barebow. And you're going to use your thumb. Most people use thumb rings. I use a little piece of leather and I wrap it in that self-adhesive bandage stuff that you get at any not hardware store, pharmacy, or drugstore, your local supermarket, whatever. This stuff is all over the place, and it works fantastic. To me, I like it better than thumb ring because I can actually feel that string in there. I can feel where it is. It's just touchy-feely. I like it. So, when you shoot these things, this thing, well, let me go over some of these arrows here. This is like a Beeman 400 spine. Very good for a compound bow. This arrow is about 31 inches long, I don't know. Got 125 grain tip on it. And that thing flies just straight as an arrow. That thing just, boom, dead center. This is an Easton Genesis. It's heavy. I don't know the grain weight of this arrow, but it's much heavier than these carbon arrows because it's aluminum. But it has a 60 grain tip on it and severely underspined. So, still flies really straight. Problem with those is those Genesis arrows, let me see if I can find another one, is they're so weakly spined that it feels like the back end is trying to pass the front end. Oh, this one's Genesis that's missing a fletch. Is that a problem? Apparently not. No problem hitting the target. This is one of these Blackout X5 MVs, 500 spine, 125 grain tip. Boom, straight as an arrow. Pardon the pun. This is one of these Beeman 400, yeah. Compound bow arrow, no problem. Short, 500 spine, thin Easton ion, no problem. Another one of these Blackout MBs, no problem. Bloodsport Hunter, 350 spine, compound bow. Boom. Another Bloodsport. Nice 5-inch shield fletchings. A lovely yellow. Here we have an Easton Game Getter, 2117. Nice, heavy, kind of short, gorgeous turkey fletchings on it. Now that's about the weight this bow wants to shoot. It's a nice heavy arrow. You just get a nice whoosh from the bow and not a thwack. Here's 400 Beeman. You can hear the thwack of the bow. Not horrible. It's not dry firing, but it's there nevertheless. Another Beeman 400. No problem. This is one of these Victory Aries youth arrows. Again, dirt cheap at your local Bass Pro. 500 spine. Right on target. You can hear the arrows just whacking against each other on the target there. Here's another one of those Easton Ion. Incredibly weak spine. So the point is, many different arrows, many different weights, many different tips, but all landing in the same zip code. Why? Because of this technique of drawing with the thumb and katra, getting that bow out of the way, giving the arrow a little head start with momentum. And this bow, alley bow, is 30 pounds. Yet these arrows are hitting with some real energy, unlike any 30-pound recurve. This is a nice heavy arrow. This is what do they call this? Something Hunter 5060 Carbon Express. Nice heavy arrow. Got a heavy tip on it. Nice long veins. Boom. And it sounds like I'm breaking arrows now. And wind is knocking Coke cans off the table. Very exciting time to be alive. Nice heavy Easton Game Getter. Nice and silent off the boat. Gorgeous. Another lightweight Easton Ion. Big thwack from the bow. Thwack. But lots of different arrows. Lots of different weights. Lots of different tips. All hitting with reasonable accuracy while I'm standing here talking and not really paying a heck of a lot of attention, just sending arrows downrange. Boom. Nice bow, nice technique. just a nice way to shoot an arrow. If you haven't tried Asiatic Archery horse bows, I encourage you to try it. Learn it. I teach it where I work. It's really something. It's technique used in combat archery. They teach some of that somewhere in Japan. It's a martial art. So try it. You won't regret it.